Thank you very much for this introduction. I'm Maxime Flament. My name is Maxime Flament. I'm 5G-AA Chief Technology Officer, and I'm very happy to be invited to this Ettifos 5G-V2X showcase. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an overview of what 5G is, and then also try to integrate or introduce also why 5G-V2X is so important to us. First, a little bit on 5G-AA. The 5G Automotive Association is an organization that brings together the automotive and the telecommunication. We are addressing different connectivity mobility needs, especially anything that is related to functions in the cars that brings smarter, safer, environmentally friendly services. But all this is done with an industry sustainable way, where we are trying to find viable solutions for the market. We are at the moment 120 members. We started 6 years ago with 8 companies. We are representing 8 of the top 15 OEMs, 11 of the top 15 OEMs, 8 of the top 10 MNOs, and 2 of the top smartphone vendors. And if we look at our members, we can see that 6 of our members, so 5% of our partnership, is made of Korean members. You see the names that are here, and we are very happy that both very large companies from automotive or from telcos, also small and medium enterprise, are part and representing the Korean community in the 5G Automotive Association. So what are the main achievements so far after 6 years of the 5G-AA? What we managed to do is to be now considered as a global lead organization on automotive connectivity. We also are the organization that helped transforming the 3GPP standards from the inception, from the standards itself to the market reality. And we have done that for LTE-V2X, but we are also doing that for 5G-V2X, starting from 3GPP release 16. In addition, in 6 years, we really made sure that all single vehicle manufacturers consider 3GPP technologies as well as 5G as the reference technology for putting connectivity in their cars. And that 6 years ago was not exactly the case. And the way we push these towards the market is to make sure that we look at deployment, we advance V2X deployment, we look at the barriers, the market entry barriers, we accelerate the time to market. And to do so, we look at standards from a pre-standardization point of view. We bring all the members together. We discuss what are the needs for the automotive, and we push them to the relevant standardization organization around the world. Finally, advocacy from a policy point of view is very important to us. We look at each important markets. This is US, Europe, China, Korea, Japan, Australia. We have a presence in each of these countries, and we are interacting with the policymakers in order to make sure that the technology is good to go in terms of policy making. And finally, our members are doing a lot of innovation, and that's where Ettifos, for example, is doing a great job, making sure that these technologies are coming up from innovation, are leveraged into 5G-AA, and that 5G-AA members can use it in order to plan for market introduction. So a few strategic objectives of the 5G-AA, and you can see at the bottom part, the connectivity, even though it's a small box at the end of the day, is the core of all what we can do in the connectivity of the vehicles. And whether you're talking about basic safety services or whether you're talking about more advanced driving services such as automated valet parking, teleoperated driving, sensor sharing, also maneuver coordinations, all these services that you have on top have a clear link to what kind of connectivity is at the disposal of the vehicle and integrates with the infrastructure. And for this reason also, we have always to consider 4 different aspects of the road ecosystem. One, the digital roads, where we have to ensure that the traffic managers are integrated into the traffic ecosystem. Then the digital vehicles and the digital users. Only by having a good progress on these 3 aspects, we can ensure that the services and solutions are eventually delivered in an optimal way. Now, CV2X, and by extension 5G-V2X, has 2 complementary communication modes. And we very often see vehicles that are connected around the world. There are millions of them. They are connected with the mobile network communication. They are using the traditional mobile network from the mobile network operators, and they are using licensed spectrum in order to exchange a different kind of information. So this deployment has started for quite some time now. What we are looking at and what Ettifos is bringing here is what we can do with direct communication. And Ettifos started a few years ago with the LTE V2X direct communication, and now is bringing to us 5G V2X direct communication, which is standardized as release 16/17 of 3GPP. This connectivity brings very short range, low latency, vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to infrastructure, and even vehicle to pedestrian interactions. It uses the 5.9 gigahertz, which is harmonized almost everywhere across the world. And it's independent of the presence of the cellular network. And the way we want to do exactly the way we have done with LTE V2X is to build up roadmaps to plan all together with 120 members the introduction of the technologies. So back in 2018, we introduced LTE V2X in our roadmap. We planned that LTE V2X would be deployed and especially supported by China markets in 2020. That was the case. But at the same time, we then made another roadmap that was more a use case roadmap at that time, including 5G V2X. This roadmap has been since updated. We are planning to update this roadmap every 18 months. But the most important at the end of the day is that we want to make things happen. And not in terms of research or not in terms of more pilots, etc., but we want the industry to adopt the technology, make a real impact on the road eventually in terms of safety, in terms of efficiency of traffic, and we try to remove the roadblocks that are on the way to this deployment. Now, this is a simple picture that we use for our roadmap. It depicts many of the use cases that are attractive to the vehicle manufacturers. At this stage, a lot of the use cases are focusing on delivering local hazard and traffic information, basic safety, intersection safety, hazard collection and sharing. These are relatively easy from a radio perspective to deliver. They can be delivered with the mobile network. They can be delivered also with the short-range communication, starting with LTE V2X PC5. Now, where it becomes more challenging and where the 5G V2X makes a difference is in the more advanced driving use cases. When we are talking about automated valet parking and teleoperated driving, clearly 5G V2X makes a role, and even more on the right-hand side of this, where the connected cooperative driving becomes much higher. We have V2V kind of use cases that necessitate 5G V2X to use all its capabilities. And what does that mean? It's making sure that we have a guaranteed quality of service, making sure that also you can form groups, and these groups are relatively reliable in the sense that they are then acknowledging the information or the messages that are coming from each other. And this would enable then use cases such as cooperative maneuvers, cooperative adaptive cruise control that has been discussed quite for some time, dynamic intersection management, where you start to have much better management of the traffic at the intersections, and then even on highways, dynamic cooperative traffic flows. Now, on the bottom side, even if we are talking still about traffic efficiency, which is could be seen as simple, dynamic sharing of dynamic or data sharing of dynamic object is one very important part of what we foresee as delivering from 5G V2X. And and that would enable also unequipped vehicles to be detected and to be part of the exchange of the data that is present with 5G V2X. Now, why are we now being more vocal about the importance of 5G V2X? First, we believe that from 3GPP side, we are at a state that 3GPP V2X technology is pretty mature in terms of standards, and so we can say this is the right way to start with in terms of deployment. For us, as 5G V2X is the brand name that we use for automotive relevant 3GPP technologies. We see that 5G V2X will become a world consensus for the future. It will support advanced driving that I showed earlier in the slide, but also it will also support all the previous message types, including the basic safety, and it will deliver this service continuity. Additionally, we see that different regional markets are acting a little bit differently. So that means that some will perhaps use 5G V2X alone. Some perhaps will use 5G V2X with the previous LTE V2X radio. And this is completely fine. It's just an adjustment from the regional market, and we have no particular issue on that in that respect. So now, how does 5G want to work forward? We are very much focused in 2024, 2023 on the work that we are doing at the CV2X rollout. So that means still the LTE V2X rollout in the US at the moment. We are focusing on market readiness of the 5G V2X technology. And for that reason, Ettifos is an important player because they are bringing a test platform to the members of 5GA. And then finally, in every part of the world, we are still addressing actively any current market entry barriers that are present. And so with this, I would like to thank you very much for the invitation, and I wish all the best to the Ettifos team. I would like to mention that in a few weeks, 5G is coming to Seoul, Korea, and on Thursday in the afternoon of the 11th of May, we will have a conference which is bringing a global perspective on the CV2X deployment. And so I hope that if you are present here, you will also take the opportunity to come to Seoul on the 11th of May for this short event. Thank you. With this, I hand back, and I hope that this was interesting for you.